Hello everyone, Father Scott Vanderveer here. Today I'd like to reflect with you on what it means to really realize that we are powerless over other people, places, and things. We're powerless to change most things in life. In fact, just about the only thing we can change is usually ourselves. Our own behavior, our own attitudes, our own way of looking at things. We are powerless to change others. The only way that someone else will change is if they want to and if they make an effort in the direction of change. If a person doesn't wish to change, no one else can make them. Which means that in order to get along with each other, in order to love one another and accept each other as we are going to need to become more comfortable with the differences between us. We won't be able to force other people to do what we want them to do. Many connections and relationships have been ruined by one party thinking they could control the other in what they were doing. The only thing that we can change is ourselves, which is why many people have as a favorite prayer the saying, Lord, please bless them and change me. We know that we're powerless to change others, and so we don't try. We don't ask God either to change the person, since we know that they have their own relationship with God that is being worked out. We ask God to bless other people in their life. And if there's a change that needs to happen, we ask God to make it possible within us. Sometimes living this out can be tricky. But recently I heard a parent of teenagers share with me a strategy that they're using that I think has a lot to teach us all. This parent, who I've known for quite a few years, has been frustrated for just about the entire time I have known her with the amount of time her kids spend playing video games. You may have someone in your life that has a habit or a pastime or a hobby that you find tiresome. Maybe you think it's a waste of time. Maybe you think it's addictive. Maybe you think it is wasteful. Maybe you think it's frivolous. It could be anything. And you may be right. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But whatever another person does is not something we have the power to change. Because these kids are teenagers now, she can continue to make rules about the way that they consume video games, the amount of time they can play games. But now 2 of her children have gone off to college, and she's completely powerless over their use of time. And the 2 younger ones who are still in high school may follow her rules, but they still choose, whenever she gives them downtime, to spend a lot of time on those video games that she finds unimportant. So she had spent a lot of time trying to get the kids to do things with her, forcing them to do things that she thought they would like go to a nice restaurant and order anything they want off the menu, or maybe go to nature and experience some kind of majestic beauty. Maybe it would be to go on a shopping trip together, or go to New York City and watch a show together. But none of those things captured her kids' imagination as much as video games. For better or worse, that's what they wanted to do. And so she told me recently that she did something remarkable. She learned how to play a game on PlayStation 5 called Genshin Impact. I don't know what the word Genshin means, and she said she didn't either, but it's a advanced, very complicated video game that her son and some of his friends like to play. And they play against each other. And they've become masters of this particular PlayStation game. So she spent the last year playing it, learning about it, studying about it. And then when she got good enough, she told her son that she had been studying it because she knew he liked it. And she asked if it would be okay with him if he taught her a little more about it and tried to improve her technique. And he was delighted. And he did. And now she's one of the remote players who plays against her son and his friends in their college, which is 3 hours away from where she lives. They have a connection. They have a bond with one another. Her husband decided to take a page out of her book and learned the game Apex Legend. Again, I'm just using words. I have no idea what those games are. If they're offensive in any way, I apologize because I don't even know what they are. But they can't be too offensive, I guess, because these parents have delved into the world of these video games so that they can connect with their kids. The dad is able to connect with the second son who's in college and the teenagers still at home better with Apex Legends, while the mom connects with the firstborn using Genshin Impact. Neither of these parents are particularly interested in the video games, but they are supremely interested in having a relationship with their children. And so rather than continuing to try to invite the kids into their world, which worked when they were younger, but started to fail in its effectiveness when they reached a certain age. Now, the parents are humbly entering their kids' world, learning what they like, and spending time and effort and energy learning about that and reaching out so that their kids have a point of contact with them. There are probably a lot of lessons that can be learned from this, and you may have a lot of feelings about the story I just shared. Maybe you'd have some critiques about it, and I would understand that. But I do think it's a great story that explains the power of where there is a will, there is a way. And a way can be found through any block. It usually means, though, that we have to stop thinking that we will come up with the best idea and allow ourselves to be placed into God's plan. It is perhaps important for us to recognize that any plan we come up with that would involve someone else changing what they're doing to join us in what we do, or to change their likes or dislikes or behaviors in order to mold themselves more fully into what we would be comfortable with, any of those plans, any of those techniques are bound to fail because we are powerless over people, places, and things. We can only handle what is going on around us, or as some people would say, we can only handle the amount of space that can fit in between us and a hula hoop. Whatever can fit inside my hula hoop, that's mine to deal with. Anything outside of it, I have to offer that up and allow God to be God. That's what letting go and letting God means. Focusing on what's inside my hula hoop and nothing else. God bless those parents who are working hard to connect with their kids. It's not a perfect science. There's many pros and cons to every approach. There's fits and starts. There's gas and clutch. But God bless those parents who recognize what is most important. As Jesus said to Mary and Martha, Mary has chosen the better part. She is the one spending time and adjusting her night to what the guest is doing. And the better part will not be taken from her. May each of us prioritize our relationships with those most important people in our life above other things. And may we place God first in all things in our life. May God bless you all.